And it's this idea that, I think especially as a founder, it's easy to pursue what I call resume virtues. So what are the things I can do now to really stack up my LinkedIn profile, stack up the intro you made, just feel like I'm accomplishing a lot. And and then to query whether you want to pursue a life of resume virtues or eulogy virtues, which is basically by the time you die, what is the most important thing to you? And this
Right.
exercise, which was so impactful to me, was effectively you go forward in your mind all the way to age 80, 90, 100, as old as you think you're basically going to get. And you wake up and you ask yourself, across every aspect of life, learning, work, relationships, lifestyle, you know, everything, career, money, what has happened that is your ideal life, that is the best possible life you can imagine. And the most fascinating thing is when you do this exercise and you then distill it down to what you think matters most in life, while in this moment in time, the most important thing might be get the company off the ground, make it successful. It's good. All these things are going to unlock as a result. At the ending of life, what became very clear to me at least was that the most important thing to me was my wife, it was my children, it was my parents, it was my family, it was my community. And that's who's going to be around me on my deathbed, I hope, if I'm lucky. And that's who I want to um, build relationships with now. Don't sacrifice those things because you see a lot of people who they put all of their life energy into certain things that end. Companies can end, jobs can end, and then they have not much left. And those people that I've seen who have done this, it's been really, really hard to see them when they retire because it's just lost their way. Where if you go, look, yeah, of course, I'm gonna work my butt off on this company, and I'm gonna be aggressive and I'm gonna attack it, but I'm still not gonna miss my kids' dance recital. I'm gonna be there for my wife's birthday. And I'm gonna make sure that when I do Valentine's Day, I've thought ahead about the card, whatever the things are. You have to balance out those investments because otherwise, I think it's a road to, well, depends what you want, but to me, that wasn't the road that I want to get to. Of course, I want to continue to be a founder and be very successful, and I want to build the biggest company I've ever built, no question. But also, I want on my deathbed, I want to be with my wife. I still want to be with her.
Yes, yes. I know what you're talking about because it's the story of a fisherman and the and the American.
Yes, that's the story. That is the story. Was it like the fisherman and the HBS grad or something, the Harvard guy?
Something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I heard multiple versions, but it's the same idea.
it's a
Now,
great idea.
that doesn't mean that we have to live in a small shack with no water, right, or whatever
Yeah,
it is, right? No running water. But that doesn't mean that we also have to, work so many hours a day and just,
yeah,
put that on top of everything, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there is a, I mean, the most successful people are working, many, many hours, 12 hours a day, nonstop,
That's right.
and whatnot,
That's
right?
right.
Are willing to sacrifice a little bit of that? I don't know if sacrifice is the right word.
Yeah,
Let's maybe, but you are aiming a little bit lower, but you have a much more balanced life, right? And I think that's a much richer life, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. There's a lot to unpack there, but totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah,
I feel the same. I mean, I am blessed to have the time to spend it with my son. I'm coaching him. We're training on karate, so
nice. It's
we
great.
go to train. I coach him as well, and I can spend time with him a lot. My parents did something similar where they uh, quit their corporate jobs
Wow,
to
really?
spend time with me and my brother. So
Wow,
yeah, and they basically gave up a safe job, right, to spend time with us because they would
amazing.
be out from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., right?
Wow,
Or
just
so we
working.
would never see each other, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
I
mean, and of course, I think this is also the thing too. You have to recognize that not everyone has the luxury of that decision either. There's some people that they got to work 2 or 3 jobs just to make it, just to get by, and they can't.
Right.
You know, like as founders, when you anyway, I just want to recognize that for a second. That I think everyone can do what they want to do in life, and they can find their way. But sometimes, you know, the starting line really matters. Are you lucky enough to be in a you know, a bountiful country when you are born, or are you not? And then how do you get out of there? And what do you do about that? And you know, it's complicated, man. Being a human, it turns out, there's a lot to it.
Yes, yes.